Hey everyone, welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss Jordan Peele's recent appearance at CinemaCon and his explanation behind the meaning of the movie title, Nope. I'll also break down the new footage released of the film that was shown at the convention. If there was ever a question of what this film is about, we now know the answer for sure. Let's go. So Vulture.com posted an article that highlights Jordan Peele's statements at CinemaCon and also provides a full breakdown of the new trailer footage for the upcoming film Nope. Now, before I get into Jordan's comments, I want to first dive into the new footage for the movie. Now, the headline reads, Jordan Peele will personally thrive on scaring you into saying nope aloud. And the article goes on to break down the new footage. In new Nope footage screened for the first time at CinemaCon, we meet Daniel Kaluuya, Peele's Get Out leading man, and Keke Palmer of Hustlers fame as married horse ranch owner-operators facing a supernatural crisis. A UFO, a literal unidentified flying object, has been hovering above their home, alternately yanking people into the sky and raining down death from above. I saw something above the clouds, Palmer says in the clip. It was big. Oscar nominee Steven Yeun appears in a cowboy hat and resplendent red rodeo suit. A kind of messianic figure who ominously intones, "You are about to witness an absolute spectacle." Now, spoiler alert, after an alien spacecraft drenches their house in blood, Kaluuya and Palmer's characters realize the life and death stakes of their situation, compelling them to enlist outside help in the unlikely form of an electronic store delivery man, Brandon Perea, and a documentarian, Michael Wincott, identified as the, quote, only person who can film it, end quote. It being the UFO. All right, so I'll stop here for a second and talk about this footage. So now we definitively know, I think after that last trailer that we got, it really did look like it was going to be aliens. And I know I made a video on this about a month ago. And basically, it really, I said at that time, it really is looking like it's UFOs. It's going to be aliens. And sure enough, we know now if there was any ambiguity left at all, it is gone. We know for sure now this is what we thought it was going to be. 100%, it is an alien sci-fi horror movie. But we still don't know a whole lot about the movie. Okay, we got that question answered for sure. And we did get a little bit more of a peek behind the curtain here when we see that for whatever reason, this UFO is hovering over their ranch, their property there. And, you know, we've seen the footage in the trailer of horses going up and then people going up. And so we don't know, of course, why that's happening. That's going to be part of the big mystery of the movie is why and who and how it all started and what it all is, of course. But we know that it looks to me like it's going to be kind of focused on one location. So it's probably going to be a smaller scale in terms of location site. It's going to all happen here at the ranch because that's where the UFO is showing up at. So we're going to have a lot of the film, if not most of the film, I would say, probably will be filmed there at this location as it unravels. And it's cool bringing in experts. You know, you're bringing someone in to help, and then you got a guy coming in to film it to try to, I guess, get it on, get it documented that it's really happening and what have you. So it's a cool premise with a small cast, which I like. I have no problem with these movies where there are smaller cast numbers. It's more precise. It's more focused and kind of in tune to one thing. So I'm okay with that, bringing this group together. And then it's just about exploring what happens in the movie. and discovering it one piece at a time. So I think that's great. I love that. No problem at all with that. There's something to be said for bigger productions where there's a lot of people, huge ensemble of cast members and all this. There's a place for that. But in these type movies, I do prefer the smaller amount of cast, more of a centralized location, and we just have to peel the onion back, I should say, until we get to the bottom of it, which is what I think we're going to have happen with this movie. And then, of course, we had the little spoiler alert. We got the little more information here about how the spacecraft drenches their house in blood. So obviously, whoever these aliens are, they're killing people, they're killing animals. They're not exactly extending out their hand to say, come up for a party in the ship, right? They're coming up to say slaughter time. And that's going to be an interesting also scenario to figure out why and what's going on. And, Jordan Peele is such a smart filmmaker. This is one of those films where, typically when you think of the aliens doing these kind of things, it's pretty much, you think of it as good versus evil, right? The aliens are evil. They're coming here to either, exterminate humanity, take our resources, all those kind of tropes that we know in these type films, in historically speaking. But, Jordan is so smart with how he writes. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of these situations where at first we think these aliens are bad. We think they are here to really harm humanity as a whole. And what we end up finding out at the end is that maybe these aliens are the good guys. Maybe they're actually the ones that are here to help and not necessarily exterminate and take us all out. I mean, we'll see. Could go a lot of different ways, of course, but Jordan is a very smart writer, and I love the way that he, writes his stories. He crafts them in such a way that usually when the movie's over, you have this feeling of just, man, that was a good movie. That was original. There's always something a little bit different and unique to his films, historically speaking now. So I'm excited, and I'm anticipating that to be the case for Nope as well. So we'll see. All right, we'll see. Now, getting back to the article, next up, we're going to read Jordan's thoughts on the finished product. And he said, quote, "I'm very proud of it," end quote. Peele said, "We shot Nope in 65 millimeter and IMAX. The IMAX cameras allowed us to capture some incredible images unlike anything on film before. We used some new techniques that we've never seen before. The film is definitely a ride." Now, this is exciting. And when I read this, I'm like, this took me back a long time ago to when I remember The Matrix being filmed and how they were saying that they're filming some scenes in that movie that in a way that had never been done before in cinema history, which we know now is done all the time since that came out with the 360 view. So I wonder if we're going to get something here that's going to be similar to that. But he makes this comment. I mean, he's very, very clear about it, that we were able to capture some incredible images unlike anything on film before. That's a really bold statement. And new techniques we've never seen. So that's really, really interesting to me, really compelling. And I'm very excited to see what these visuals are in this movie. So this almost now it just amps it up even more, because now when I go in, not only am I expecting a good story, which I've seen in Peele's movies in the past, I'm going in expecting to see some wow, have some eye candy on the screen with how some of these scenes are filmed. And I'm sure it'll be one of those moments where when we see it on screen, we'll know, oh, there it is. That's new. That's different. That sticks out. So that could elevate this film even higher if it's done well. And I bet on I bet my chips that Jordan Peele will do it well and has done it well. So to go ahead and wrap up this article, we finally, Peele explains the meaning of the film's title, Nope. And in it, he says, "I like titles in tune with how audiences are feeling and thinking inside the theater," he explained. "You say, this is going to be a scary movie. They say, nope, not for me. Especially black audiences. We love horror, but there's a skepticism. You ain't gonna scare me, nope. I'm going to personally thrive on the number of times we hear the word nope in the theater. That person who doesn't like horror movies, it's about bringing that person in. So there we have it. That's the reason for the meaning behind the title Nope. It is strictly because Jordan Peele says, I want to hear people say this in the theater, and it's going to terrify them. Basically, it is going to scare people, and he's ready to hear it. And so I think that's great. It's pretty cool. It's actually interesting that most directors don't always give that kind of insight to why they name their movies. They usually just don't even address it. So I was excited to see that he actually addressed it right on from the beginning here. So that's why it's called Nope. If you guys were wondering, that's the reason why. All right, everyone, I'm going to leave it there for now, but I want to know what you guys think about the new footage that I broke down here, and Jordan Peele's comments. I want to hear your opinions, thoughts, ideas, and theories. So start leaving your comments below right now so we can discuss it together. Well, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Nope and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.